Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. I'm over here looking at Indonesia and surveilling my domain, and I've realized that I've made a critical error, which is Sambas. I've made an indirect subject, not a direct subject. So, if I'm going to fix these things up, I might actually need to annex the Philippines in order to fix this problem. And I can't do that right now. So, you know, we're gonna kind of see how that goes. I am gonna annex Banjar eventually and hand them over to Brunei. And once I've annexed the Philippines, I'll do the same for Sambas. But basically, I'm gonna need to do some work with my subjects here. Let's improve relations with Sambas. Let's improve relations with Banjar. So that's gonna make that easier. We're already improving relations with the Aceh. So how is Liberty Desire doing for them? It's not great. We need to build stuff there, but I can't do that right now. Let's go ahead and unpause here. Come on, give me a success. 60% chance. You can do it. Discord within the intelligentsia. An influential faction within the intelligentsia has grown frustrated with their co-members' neutrality on the topic of per capita taxation. Themselves in favor of the law, they've now resolved to form a separate political faction intent on passing it. How can you stand idly by and watch the world pass before your eyes? Have you no sense of honor, of duty to your fellow man? I say nay to such lack of ambition, and I dare say I am not alone in this. With their support, the bill shall pass, 15% enactment chance, minus 5% strength for the intelligentsia, or the petite bourgeoisie, extend an open hand to these mavericks. I don't want to strengthen the petite bourgeoisie too much. Petite bourgeoisie are already very strong. So I'm just going to say with their support, the bill shall pass. Boy, relations with these subjects are not great. I know, I feel like I should be able to get Philippines to hand over Banjar, but what I read this as here under unavailable demands is I can't transfer because they're my indirect subject, and I can't so I can't get them as my subject as my direct subject no matter how good relations are with Philippines. That's what I read this as. And part of the reason I read it this way is because that checkbox saying relations between yeah, I think this is bugging out because of this. I think this is a full blocker on this. I think there's no way I can just steal that subject. Anyway, lesson learned. Hopefully we'll do better next time. So, let's see. What else do we want to do? Let's take a quick look at the... yes, I'm building myself a supply chain here. Cash flow is rock solid. Still paying a block in interest, so I want to keep this. If I keep this going this way, making 25k per week. Let's see, that's... 25k per week is like 1.3 mil a year. So at this rate, I should be going back to neutral in... back to no interest in a ways. But, in like 2 years. Less than that. So let's get cracking. Loyalists are still rock solid, actually. I think standard of living's been going up, so that's part of why. There are a lot fewer things that affect standard of living, loyalists based on standard of living than there used to be. So I'm kind of keeping that in mind. Now, long term, I don't have a radical anymore. There was a radical heading up the petite bourgeoisie for a while. But I got a lot of authoritarians around. In fact, my government is unacceptable. But I want to keep the rural folk around on this. If I swap in, who do I swap in? It's got to be the armed forces. I don't necessarily want that. These guys are all authoritarians. Authoritarians and traditionalists. It's not ideal. But also my cash flow will be better once I've got per capita taxation, if I can ever get per capita taxation. Losing rank? Excuse me? Oh no, that's not acceptable. That's not even a little bit acceptable. We're going to need to make some more boats. We're going to need some more boats to keep our rank high. In fact, I'm going to intersperse them because you get more power projection from heavy ships than you do from light ships, I think. Anti-Dutch League is very pleased. We haven't antagonized the Dutch that much, although I guess we stole a bunch of the Dutch East Indies. Do we have a truce? We don't. I guess I can't demand to steal a vassal because the Dutch East Indies are... Oh no, they're an insignificant power. Maybe I would demand... Oh, I can't do it because I've got a truce with them. Because I just fought a war with them. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I'm so smart. So smart and good at video games. Maybe... if I damage relations with the Philippines... I know I just said I think transferring Sambas is a hard blocker, but maybe if I just damage relations a little. I'm gonna take a... This will give me infamy. But it'll deteriorate relations by 30. So once I get to 49, I'm gonna hit that button and see if I can do that thing. Because I need to be below cordial. 50 is amicable, below 50 is cordial, and then below 20 is neutral. So once I get there, maybe I'll just be able to do the thing I need to do, and then I won't have any hairballs to deal with, and then I can just annex Banjar and Sambas straight away. And if not, then these things happen, and I'll be good to go. I need to build up Toledo some. Toledo's low in standard of living. Do I have unemployed? I have unemployed pops here. That's what's going on. Oh, that's not great. Gosh darn. Alright, well, tooling workshops are... I just said tooling workshops are profitable. No! Why would you do this to me? No! But you're profitable. You're profitable. Paper mills are profitable, though. We'll put the paper mills in there. Why can you not hire these unemployed pops? Do we not have... We've got a university. Gosh darn it. Anyway, none of that's going to happen until I got my explosives factories built, so we'll just kind of go from there. Alright, Philippines is down to 49. So I'm going to expel diplomats. So now we're neutral, okay? I don't have a truce with Sambas. So... Okay, alright. So now that button has gone away. Yeah, I can only annex. I can only annex. That's my only path. Netherlands will step in. But I can take the Netherlands for sure. Maybe I can even get war reparations. Ooh, I can get war reparations to the Netherlands. Tasty, tasty war reparations. Let's increase the size of the Spanish Expeditionary Force. Just a little. Just a little. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going a little crazy. We'll put a few more levels of skirmish infantry in here. And a few more levels of mobile artillery. Nothing buck wild. Just enough to bring us up to 20, which is the same... No, we're making the fleet larger. Trying to get my power projection from prestige up. I could surpass Sweden. Popular playwright endorses reform. In the midst of the debate surrounding per capita taxation, one of the country's leading playwrights, strongly associated with the petite bourgeoisie, has staged a widely acclaimed play whose politically laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. The man's viewpoints may be somewhat partisan, but sir, you cannot argue with his prose. Per capita taxation will be on everyone's lips now. Alright, 85%. Let's see if I can get myself a successful law passage check from here, huh? Alright. Meanwhile, coal is still doing really rough. I still need to increase coal output by quite a bit. So we'll queue in a few more coal mines. Gold discovered in West Borneo. Beautiful. Now, I've got 13 infamy, so I can't annex the Philippines until I'm below 5, because I don't want to get above 25, because when you're above 25, everyone goes, you're likely to be a problem. And then they get mad. And the only one I want to think I'm a problem is the Netherlands. And if I can get war reparations from them, that would be very good for my economy. Bleed them dry. Relations are improving with these other powers. Very good. And anyway, this'll be good for the Philippines. We'll annex them and we'll reissue them with better tech, or maybe we'll give all their states to Brunei. We'll annex Banjar and Sambas, and then give all of the Philippines to Brunei, and then it'll all be together. Actually, now I'm thinking of other ideas. It would be very little infamy to annex Brunei itself. Dye works accident. Several workers died today at the Valencia dye works when an industrial-sized tub of hot dye accidentally spilled out over the workshop floor and the unsuspecting workers. Locals are upset about the incident, claiming that poor safety regulations and the hot and dangerous workplace are to blame for the accident, and are urging the government to take action. As rescued workers left the scene, several workshop employees were left dying. We shall all die sooner or later, extra mortality in Valencia and radical pops. Or they shall not have died in vain, extra mortality only, stronger trade unions. I can afford stronger trade unions. Trade unions are real weak right now. And anyway, they're not likely to cause trouble. Do a promotion. The armed forces demand the promotion of Major General Jose Ramon Rodil, toting his history of loyal and effective service. So many medals adorned his jacket that one could scarcely see the fabric beneath, but it was not yet enough. Chest puffed out with pride, the general smiled as he imagined the look on Pagaza's face when the lieutenant general learned of his imminent ascension. Their rivalry was legendary among the officers. At last, he would have his due. So Rodil is a royalist aligned with the armed forces. Yeah, that's fine. He's earned it. Alright, we've gotten a little bit more prestige so that we shouldn't be falling below 94 anytime soon. I wonder if Baden's a vassal of someone else, and that's why they're locked at minor. Oh, nope. It's because they're only have 90 hoodie waddies. Oh man, Ottoman Empire is losing a war against Egypt again. Let me see. They're gonna get Adana and a Humiliate CB. Interesting. Well, that'll be what it is. Ottoman Empire will almost assuredly fail the Tanzimat at this point. See. So again, what I really want... These barracks are no rush, because I'm going to be doing other stuff. But I think now that our interest payments are pretty low, I can afford to expand the construction sector a little bit. I've got a solid iron supply now. So yeah, I think I can afford... I think we can risk a little bit more construction. Let's go up to 2 in these other areas, so that we got a decent spread of construction sectors, and then we'll throw those in at the top of the queue. Get them done real fast, and then get everything going faster. Obviously that's going to kick up the price of iron, but what else is new? We are working on water tube boiler. That's going to substantially increase the iron supply as well. Now, does water tube boiler... cost extra coal? Because I made the mistake of thinking it wouldn't last time. No, it's only the Atmo pump engine that costs more coal. Wait a minute, the Atmel pump engine says it doesn't cost coal at all. Oh, because I'm looking at coal mines. Hold on. It does cost more coal. Alright, so I will need to get those coal mines in production. So probably what I'll do, I do want to increase standard of living in... Oh, this was Asturias. I thought it was in Toledo. Okay, well, so there's no pressure to increase the size of this paper mill. So we'll put that at the bottom. We'll get these explosives and munitions factories built. That way we can stop... And actually, now that I'm thinking on it, where are we outputting steel? We're outputting steel primarily in Navarra? Yes. No, Castile. Castile is a good place to have an artillery... Well, artillery foundries use iron right now, but they're going to use steel later. How long is it going to take for us to get to that point? Shell gun is what unlocks smooth bores. And... Oh, I don't have any, so I can't look up the method. Hold on. What's a high-tech country? Britain. Britain, where are you building your artillery? Here we go. Okay, they don't use steel until breech loaders, so actually I want them in a place where there's an iron supply. There is an iron supply in Castile. Well, there's a little bit of an iron supply in Castile. I think, yeah, Navarra is my big place where I got a lot of iron. I think it's better to put it in Castile. So that's what I'm going to do. And this artillery foundry will put ahead of these. Hey, music player, you want to give us a nice little bit of soundtrack here, a little bit of a track of sound here. Give us some nice music to play with. Now I'm at 87% with a 10% advance chance and a 2% stall chance. Let's see if I can't get... Oh, I have gotten some successes. I guess I've just missed them. Well, it wouldn't be the first time I was paying attention to other stuff and just completely spaced on the thing my government was doing. One time I got cooed in a personal game. I was just going real fast and I got cooed without even... I just didn't even notice there was a coup event chain happening. So we'll see what happens with per capita taxation. Make sure to stay hydrated. Staying hydrated is very important. Foreign political lobby formed. A Dahomey Spanish League. Well, I guess that makes me happy. Hey, there's per capita taxation. Wonderful. So, I think at this point I'll go ahead and drop taxes back to Midland. And that'll let me survive on a very solid amount of cash flow. I can definitely afford to expand the construction sector now that my cash flow is higher. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put... I think I'm going to put a couple of construction sectors in Madrid, in Toledo. And we'll get those going pretty fast. And that will get us moving even faster. Now, how's iron in our... Iron is expensive in our customs union right now. So, I think it's a good opportunity to expand the iron mines in Castile. We are close to water tube boiler. So what I'll do is I'll put these iron mines after the... I'll put the paper mills and the barracks at the end. And we'll put the artillery foundries at the end as well. And so what that'll do is that'll give us a little bit of extra iron mines, and that'll cover the current increases that I'm making in the size of construction. Huh, interesting. I lowered taxes and standard of living went down. It probably isn't that. It's probably because I'm taking in more cash from the higher taxation. But the people are very pleased with this. So let's take a look at laws and see what I can do. Go to racial segregation. I'll make the rural folk happier, and the intelligentsia too, but the petite bourgeoisie mad. Again, the children want National Guard. I can't do internal security because I don't have central archives. I can't do guaranteed liberties because I have censorship. And nobody wants to get rid of censorship, unfortunately. Again, in order to get to homesteading, I've got to get rid of... I want to get rid of legacy slavery, go to homesteading, go to freedom of assembly, and then get... Ooh, an anti-Swedish society. Sweden, you bastards! That should make the anti-Swedish society happy. Yeah, there you go. Hey, France, you want a defensive pact? How about you, Prussia? Austria? Anybody? No? Okay. A duel. Federico Alvarez has challenged Antonio Alonso to a duel to the death. The aura surrounding the two figures is like something out of a romantic novel. Antonio Alonso smiles. He's been rehearsing this moment before falling asleep. Federico Alvarez, you are a friendless bastard. Your insults cannot go unanswered. Pick a weapon of choice and we shall meet tomorrow. Let them fight! Bang! You know, armies are doing well. Oh, an agitator. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. What's with my steel? Why are you not producing? Because iron and coal are too expensive. Well, we're going to increase the supply of iron and coal in those areas. A flood in Puerto Rico. Well, that's a shame. If I hand Puerto Rico over to Cuba, do I automatically become a non-slave-holding society? Because Puerto Rico is the only state that's a slave state? Let's find out. Let me see. Puerto Rico is mostly Caribeño and Afro-Caribeño. And... Or, sorry, Cuba is that. And Puerto Rico is the same. Alright, Cuba. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to hand this over until later. I'll have a really solid opportunity to once I've annexed the Philippines, because then it'll be a good time to be doing stuff like this, because I'll be increasing my the opinion of my subjects, because they will not be happy about me annexing the Philippines. All right, we're almost there. It's going to be 20. It's going to be 20 in for me to go after the Philippines. Philippines doesn't have much of an army. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Capital is in Manila. I assume that's where it is today. Yes, that's correct. And here we go. Weird. Yep, and the Netherlands will stand with them, and that's fine with me. Alright, so we'll go ahead and mobilize the Spanish Expeditionary Force. I'm going to put them here. They're the main army. We're going to mobilize the entire army. How did I... Stupid. Oh, Royal Guard need another leader. Let me see. Ugh. Can't believe this. I'm going with a landowners guy. Alright, let's get an armed forces guy in there just to sort things out. Alright, so we'll send the interior defense force over to this other area. And then the armada we'll send here to be ready for the naval invasion when the time comes. Although I guess I'm not going to need a naval invasion because I've got a front here. That's really interesting. I wasn't thinking about that. So I think I'm actually going to put the barracks first. And then the other stuff, because the barracks are going to get built reasonably fast. And we'll just keep an eye on this, and... No, I do actually want to finish the mines first, but then the barracks. Let's get the Coastal Defense Force conscripting, and everything will be good to go. It looks like the Netherlands is actually not stepping in, which they say they want to, but they don't want to. So I think when I annex Philippines, Sambas will become my direct vassal, and that's how that works. If that's not how that works, then I'll be dumb, and that is what it is. Almost got my munitions plants running here. So once that's done, I'll go ahead and cut those trade routes. In fact, well, I'm going to cut the one with the USA first, because I don't want to have a supply of munitions plants, a supply of munitions in the country while my munitions plants are trying to get off the ground. Explosive shortage. Well, that's fine. 2 hours. Yes, alright, so they are hiring. Explosives are expensive. The explosives factories are also trying to hire. And there's water tube boiler. Beautiful. And that means that we need to pick a new tech. So, I'm tempted to go to logistics and triage. But I think actually I want to focus on the economy right now. Nitro is a good place to start. And then let's circle around to canneries, mechanized workshops, and then mechanical bleaching. Once I'm at tier 3 for production, that'll be really solid. I think after that, oh my god, there's so much to clear out in tier 2 of society. I need central archives, that's for dang sure. Actually, no, I need egalitarianism. That's what I need. No, I need dialectics. Hold the phone, everybody. I need dialectics first. After that, it's a bunch of production stuff. That's going to spread to me, so I don't need to... nitroglycerin's going to spread to me, so I don't need to worry about it. Then we'll circle back to society and grab egalitarianism. And then it'll be a sure thing from there. All my forces have landed, so I shouldn't have too much of a problem going forward. Are we attacking here in Sambas? Please be attacking. Alright, beautiful. Alright. Finances are still good. Increasing the size of those barracks. I want to increase the construction sectors further. So let's, in order to make that happen, let's increase the productivity of our mines. Beautiful. So how has this impacted the market? Iron supply is rock solid. Explosive supply is still doing pretty bad. That's gonna. Oh my goodness, Britain, what's going on with you? You got a Republican radical revolt, and I'm not involved. Hold on, I need to declare some interests. Something's going on with my interests. I'm not interested in enough places. I need to become more interesting. Oof, isn't that the way? All right, come on. I gotta be close to taking over Luzon, right? Yeah, 78%. All right, I'm on my way there. Again, this is a totally pointless war that we're waging just so that the Philippines will be properly consolidated and I'll have hold of Sambas, so that I can annex them and Banjar and pass those over to Brunei when the time comes, which is the thing I want to do. So now that Cuba is getting more and more desirous of liberty, I can give them control of Puerto Rico, and that'll be more effective. All right, we got a multiple front. Yeah, there's a multiple front situation. There's like a tiny split between this front and this front. It's like a little weird. But I think ultimately we'll be getting control over Visayas either way. So I'm not too worried about it. I don't know why one of my armies got there a lot faster than the other, but it is what it is. And now the front is over here. Are you ready to be annexed? Not quite. You're still Kicking around, making me wait another couple of months, but a couple of weeks, but that's all right. Ooh, another duel. Excellent. I'll do that as soon as the war is done. And here we go. All right. And now Sambas is my direct subject. I can annex that. But first, the duel. Bernardo de Samaniego has challenged Antonio Alonso to a duel to the death. I feel like Antonio Alonso fought in the other duel, but I could be wrong. Head of the landowners, head of the trade unions. Let them fight! Ah, excellent. So who's heading up the landowners now? A traditionalist, Jose Maria de Tineo. Cool. Alright, so, next, Cuba. Overlord actions, grant state. Puerto Rico, confirm. Next, Sambas. Annex. Alright, I'm just going to send the Interior Defense Force on this. I think that's all that's going to be needed. Make sure my mobilization options are set properly. Ooh, Coastal Defense Force is not properly set. Let's go with those. 5th Spanish Army is not a real army. I'm going to get rid of them pretty soon when I reestablish the Philippines. Because I do have the ability to reestablish the Philippines. And I am going to, as soon as I've done the rest of my stuff. Because if I wait to reestablish them, what's going to happen is I'm not going to have a debuff to their Liberty Desire. If I reestablish them now, I'll get their Liberty Desire will be way up due to my annexing these other states. But if I wait until I've already done that to establish them, then things will be a lot easier. How's the market going? I still need a lot more coal, actually. Iron supply is doing alright. So let's actually... let's get some more coal going. Nope. Beautiful. And then in the course of that, we'll continue to increase the size of the construction sector. I'm going to put a few more levels each in the capital and in Castile. So we'll intersperse those with the others. We'll do a block of 2 and then a construction sector. Block of 2, construction sector. Block of 2, construction sector. That's how we're going to do it. Oop, I messed this one up. In fact, I meant the other number 2. Hey, there's nitroglycerin. Beautiful. So that will mean an additional level of... an additional production method available for my explosives factories. And that will make them a lot more profitable. It'll make them a lot more profitable, I said. Well, it'll make them a lot more profitable once my mines are all using explosives for mining. That's how it'll do. There. Beautiful. And now, finally, Banjar. And once again, we'll use the Interior Defense Force to deal with the situation. And after that, we'll consolidate our states, we'll pass stuff around, everything will be fine. Oh, Johore is staying against me. Oh, and Aceh. Oh, interesting. Alright, so I guess I am going to need to send a real army to deal with this. Which is fine. I can throw a subjugate Johore war goal on there. Yeah, I think I'll do that. And a reduced autonomy on Aceh. Just, you know, seeing as we're already fighting, I figure I might as well. Alright. Construction is going well. I think I'll probably build another level of explosives factories here. But I want to wait and see if the private sector builds them instead, because that's a thing that would be, that I sure would love not to have to do myself. Obviously, Brunei is starting to quiver in their boots, but they don't need to be. They don't need to quiver in their boots, because I'm going to hand them a bunch of territory and then let them be. That's how it is. And that's just sensible. I think next I'm going to go after Bali, and that's going to give me an in to fighting the Dutch East Indies once again. I'm way over time for this episode, but that's okay. Let's see what's going on in Britain. I want to get this thing done, because... And this is just sort of a selfish desire on my part. I just goofed this up, and I want to get it worked out so that I don't have to deal with it in the future. Still a little low on artillery. Don't have that artillery factory built yet. Ooh, Italian unification event. That's interesting. Let's start improving relations with some of these Italian states. I don't want to find myself in a situation where I have a lot of Italian states, where I have a much larger Italy than I thought was going to exist, all scrappy with me at the same time. Ooh, we got an agitator. I'm going to take a look at that. I'll actually probably take a look at that next episode. So here's Banjar. We were already winning before our major army stepped in, but now that they've stepped in, this should be straightforward and easy. Delicious water. Alright, so that's a win. We've got Banjar 50% occupied. Now they're fully occupied. So, next we'll invade Johore with the Spanish Expeditionary Force. It's going to take 13 weeks because they air-handled themselves back to Spain. And someone else is attempting to invade Aceh. Let's hope they succeed. Brunei is in default, unfortunately. That is unfortunate. I'm going to exempt them from service from here on out. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's... I'll offer them knowledge sharing. That'll be good in the long term. And maybe I'll exempt them from service. Reducing subject payments is not going to change a lot for me, so we'll go ahead and do that. I'm frantically trying to keep their liberty desire down, because their liberty desire is very, very high. In fact, let me bring... No, I don't want to mobilize another army. So we'll just kind of go as we've gone. I'm going to not click those. Industrial grade materials. I hate this event. The industrialists find the high price of steel in the capital an impediment to their ambitions and would like us to prioritize importing it. My business associates abroad say I run my business with an iron fist. It may sound intimidating, but it is in fact rather humiliating joke at my expense. They're looking to imply that I'm getting rusty. This is just, we can make the industrialists mad, or we can import steel from somewhere. I'm going to import steel from somewhere, and then cut the import route immediately, because I should be producing steel. There we go. I did it. Great. Now, get rid of that. This is taking forever. Do I have my own motor industry? I do not. Once I have one, I need to get producing motors so that I can produce, so that I can get these armies going faster, geographically and physically faster. Alright. How's the battle going? Beautiful. Landing's going great. Just great. Beautiful. So there's an annex there. See, what I wish there was if you were doing a spree of annexations, I wish there were like a thing that would let you go, I'm not going to annex you to particular subjects that would cause crazy infamy if you violate it. Alright, now We land in Aceh. And that spells the end of the war. And then everything will just be hunky-dory. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Has the private sector started to build any steel mills yet? Looks like no. So I guess we're going to have to increase the steel supply ourselves. So we'll get that done. We'll get that going. Beautiful. Good success. 27% holding, so I'll need another 3 battles there before that gets finished. Johore, of course, got completely occupied. Again, I'm not going to click all this stuff in because if I click it in, then it'll lock in, and then I'll need to enforce the others. That was a habit I was having for a long time. It's not going to affect this real war, but if your primary target capitulates while you've got options selected, you'll be unable to do some things you want to do. So, Johore, increase relations. Aceh, let's increase relations. Aceh, I'm going to right away reduce subject payments. Ultimately not that useful. Alright, so Brunei, you can have East Borneo. Brunei, you can have West Borneo. And then Philippines. You can be reconstituted. And their liberty desire is not going up because they're doing fine. Am I going to reduce subject payments? Yeah, I will. I will evangelize. I will improve relations. Brunei, can I evangelize? Doesn't look like it. Ditto for Aceh. Alright, and then Johore. I think that's all I'm going to do for now. Alright, so keeping Brunei under control is going to be a little bit of a struggle for the next few years, but hopefully it'll be easier later. Cuba is going to be much the same, but if I can keep things chill with them, it will not be a problem. That having been said, that is definitely all we've got the time for today, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.